On the 12th of March, live on Main Event Television, Australia's undefeated fighter Tim Tszyu will take on former world champion Tony Harrison in a battle for the interim WBO Super Welterweight world title. And I'm pleased to say that Tony Harrison has joined me. Great to meet you, Tony. Very excited about this fight.
That's right.
Are you excited about coming to Australia?
I think I'm excited about both, man. I think scratching Australia off my bucket list and doing that while fighting a guy that's next in line to fight Emanuel Charlo is killing two birds with one stone. So I think it's lined up for me.
How did this play out for you? Because we were expecting for Tim Tszyu to fight against Emanuel Charlo. That fight fell over because of a busted hand. How quickly after that did you find yourself in the reckoning to fight against Tim?
Well, immediately when I heard the news, like I said, I've never, for me to be a fighter, even my dislike for Jamil, I never want an athlete to injure himself. You know what I mean? Because I think whenever every athlete injures himself, he never comes back the same. You know what I mean? Well, whatever body part he injures, I don't think goes back to him being the same way or the same part that he left off at. So I never want to see an injury on any fighter. But immediately when I seen that, I immediately tweeted and said, I fill in for him. I immediately tweeted that. So right after that, I never heard nothing. I didn't hear him for about 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Then they just called me and said, would you like to fight Tim? And I'm like, what? And it was just like a prank or something. Somebody called me or pranked me or something like that, right? I'm like, of course. Of course, like I said, I had already been training. I had already been, like, my training wasn't in the extent of me getting ready for a fight, but I was in the gym and I was working. You know what I mean? So I never really be in the gym. When I don't have a fight coming up, I'm not in the gym and I'm not working. You know what I mean? But I was already working. So I'm like, of course. So it just lined up perfectly, man.
Did you, when you tweeted that you would take that fight, did you really expect that was a possibility, that Tim Tszyu would essentially fight you as an in-between fight?
Never. Never in a million years. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know who holding their balls more in that situation. You know, I don't know if Tim holding his balls more, the manager, the promoter. I literally don't know who holding their balls more right now. You know what I mean? So it's no way that I'm next up to fight for all the belts. And even if the roles were flipped, if I'm next up to fight for all the belts, like, I wouldn't have fought Tim. You know what I mean? Like, I probably wouldn't have fought nobody, to be honest. I probably just would have just waited it out. You know what I mean? But for Tim to take on the only person to beat the person that he wanted to go get the 4 belts from, and the most dangerous person in the division, I'm really like, who grabbing their balls over there? Somebody grabbing their balls, and I'm patting them on the back because that was stupid.
You think this is stupid?
Stupid. It's very stupid. It's just very. My thing is, it's stupid in the sense of business. It's courageous in the sense of boxing. Because for me, I'm like, Tim, like, if I could hug him right now, I would hug him. You know what I mean? Because you don't get fighters like this anymore. Everybody's about business. Everybody's about money. Everybody's about business. You know, nobody's about the courageousness of fighting no more. And that's the reason why I got in it, is to be a warrior and a gladiator in the sport of boxing. You know what I mean? The gladiator part is fight. We must fight to see who's the best. We must fight. It's not about money. It's not about who got the most fame, the most likes, the most Instagram followers. It's about fighting. And Tim is the exact example of old school fighting. I come from old school fighting, and he's the exact example of old school fighting. This is what old school fighters did. They fought each other. You know what I mean? So if I could hug him right now, I would hug him. And I would kiss him, and I would hug him after he lose too.
We can do all that in Australia, that's
for
fine.
Sure.
But what do you think he's seen in you? Because clearly he's not going into this fight thinking that you're going to beat him. What do you think he's seen in Tony Harrison that makes him so confident this is the right stepping stone for him?
Well, the thing is, I wasn't first option. I wasn't first option. So he never was planning on fighting me. I wasn't first option for him. You know what I mean? For some reason, I became third option. And the other 2 options, I have no clue why they fell out, but I was third option. So he was never like, I'm fighting Tony Harrison. Or he never even agreed to say, I'm fighting Tony Harrison. Or this is who I'm gonna fight. You know what I mean? He was supposed to fight the other guy who was one of the other mandatories for like WBA maybe.
Murtazayev.
Yeah, so he was supposed to fight somebody. I wasn't even in that discussion. You know what I mean? So he never even, in his mind, even thought that it was gonna be me. You know, for some reason I trickled down and he was, I think, not forced, but his back was against the wall, and it was like, this is the guy we got for you. You know what I mean? So it's either take it or leave it. You know what I mean? So I think for him as a fighter, he just like, I've already been out for a year and some months. I need to get back in the ring. You know what I mean? But he wasn't expecting it to be against me. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't think he had no say in that, though. You know what I mean? I don't really think he had. If he had say in that, I don't think he would have chose Tony Harrison. Nobody in America would have chose Tony Harrison, to be honest. So I don't think he would either.
You seem legitimately shocked this is all happening. Do you truly believe this fight's going to happen, or do you think it's too good to be true?
I believe it's too good to be true, but knowing Tim, knowing where he comes from, knowing the legacy of his father, knowing it's in Australia, knowing that this is the biggest fight to be made at 154, besides the guy with all the belts, I think it's gonna happen. I think if anything else happens besides that, if Tim pulls out with a hand injury, or Tim pulls out, it's fraud. He's a fraud, and I think the world will consider him a fraud. You know what I mean? Because we all know that he found a way to wiggle his way out of fighting Tony Harrison. You know what I mean? But we here now. You know what I mean? The only thing I am is I'm expecting the unexpected. I'm expecting him to pull out. I'm expecting him to keep the fight just for his namesake. But whatever happens, happens, and I'm gonna just remain in the gym and pray for the best. Pray for the best, because this situation for me it's a win-win for me.
As well as being a former world champion yourself, you're also now a world champion trainer, undisputed trainer of Alicia Baumgartner. Congratulations on that fantastic achievement as well. If you were the trainer of Tim Tszyu, what would you be saying to him about the prospect of fighting against Tony Harrison? Would you be saying, don't?
Never. Never in a million years. I would go to whoever's at the top of the top, whether it's the manager, whether it's the opponent. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? We spent all this time hyping our guy up. We spent all this time building this guy up. We spent all this time putting all this money behind this guy. We are here now. We at the door. It just so happened, in coincidence, our fighter broke his hand. We at the door. Listen to me, son. Wait out. Wait out. It's nothing wrong with waiting. It ain't like he got the ups on us or we got the ups on him. It ain't like Jermell been fighting and he ain't been fighting. Like, it's like, it's the scales are equal. You know what I mean? They both been out. Wait it out, son. Well, like, let's not blow the bag. Let's not blow this shit, right? So if I'm at that, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, this is the stupidest decision we can make as a management, as a promotion. This is stupid. This is stupid, right? And even if things pan out the way it does, what does Tim have to risk to fight a guy like Tony Harrison? Like what is the risk? What is the risk versus the reward? You know what I mean? Like, we don't get nothing out of it but a fight, and we still next up for Jermell. What the risk versus the reward is stupid. You know what I mean? Like, I need to consult some of these people and then tell them, like, what are we doing here, right? Like, just pay me a little bit. What are we doing here, though?
You're talking me into it. Do you mind if we call this fight off and Tim just waits around for Emanuel Charlo? Are you okay with that?
Listen to me, man. I'm from Detroit. I'm all about money. If I can get money without fighting, you could pay me what you're supposed to pay me without fighting. Tim, pay me. And listen to me. I signed the NDA, and you will never see me tweet about it. You will never. I'm out your way. Like, I'm all about securing my own legacy for my own family. You know, my legacy is not for boxing. My legacy is to feed my family and make sure my kids don't go through what I went through to get here. You know what I mean? My road was gruesome. You know, my road was brutal. You know what I mean? I went through the fire. I went through the hells of Detroit, man, to get to where I am right now. You know what I mean? And I stand on that. You know what I mean? So if I can make the kind of money I would make fighting Tim without fighting Tim, and he can keep his, man, just pay me. Just pay me, because it's gonna be somebody for me to fight anyway. It ain't like I need him or he need me. But just pay, if you could pay me, like I always understood people taking step aside money, because I probably would be that guy to be like, ah, shit, you gonna give me $1 million? Pay. I get my spot anyway, like I lost my spot. But if y'all just want to make this fight happen and I have to wait a couple more, pay me, and I don't gotta fight nobody. That. It's ignorant for me to say, no, don't pay me, fight. Hell no, pay me. If I can get paid, man, listen to me, man. I can get paid without getting punched. That's the name of the game.
What have you made of Tim Tszyu so far? What do you think about him as a fighter?
I think he's an excellent example of Australia. I think he's a tough competitor. I think he balls to the wall. I think he balls to the wall for sure. I think, like, win, lose, or draw, you're going to get the best Tim in and out every time he steps in that ring, right? But I do think he's a flawed Tim. I do think he hasn't faced any level of opposition. I don't even know how he got here for Jamel, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, how did he go? Like what steps did he take to get there? You know what I mean? Like, I fought guys like Hurd and Charlo, and I was lining up to fight Fundora. So to get there, my road was expensive. Like, I had to spend a lot to get to my road back to Jamel. How did he get there? You know what I mean? He beat Jeff Horn. He beat Hogan. Like, the guy, how did he get there? You know what I mean? So it just lets you know that everything gets political, man. And his father's name carry weight. And Australia carries weight. And Australia got the money to carry the weight. You know what I mean? So, but how did he get there? You know what I mean? What did he do? What did he accomplish to get there? To say he's next up to fight for every single one of the belts. Who did he beat? Who did he fight? You know what I mean? For me, I had to go through the hells of fire in America. You know what I mean? He don't have those kind of complications and obstacles that he had to hurdle over and go through to get there. You know what I mean? But I think this one will show you that it's so many levels to why you shouldn't skip levels. It's almost like football. You know what I mean? If you play football in America, you have to go to college. You can't, like in basketball, you can go from high school to the pros. Football, you have to take those steps, right? Because these are grown men you playing against. I'm a grown man. You know what I mean? You going against a seasoned vet. You going against Peyton Manning. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just jump from high school. The speed is faster. The length is faster. The distance is more challenging. The fire burns a little higher. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm like, how did you get here? But no matter how you got here, I'm glad you're here, right? I'm glad you're here because it all makes sense for me. It's no way, I could have had 4 weeks. There's no way I would have turned this fight down. No way, not in a million years.
His biggest domestic wins were those you mentioned, Jeff Horn and Dennis Hogan, then internationally, Takeshi Inoue, who was world ranked, and Terrell Gausha over here in the United States. You didn't see anything.
Takeshi? Who? Come on, man. Come on. Are you satisfied? Come on, man. Look, I know your job here, but are you satisfied? Like, if you're from Australia, are you satisfied with his resume? Are you satisfied with his resume to get to fight Emanuel Charlo? I'm not satisfied. You know what I mean? And that's the competitor in me. That's not even like me hating on him, but I'm not satisfied with how he got there. You know what I mean? I can put 8 people in front of him that say he's deserving of the shot. You know what I mean? Lubin went back to the fire to get there, and he fought Fundora. But even before he fought, he went back to the fire. He fought guys that were world champions or ex-world champions, and he went through the fire to get there. Tim is literally, resume-wise, he's at the bottom of the totem pole. You know what I mean? But he got there. You know what I mean? So how did he get there? You know what I mean? Like, and I hope I'm making sense, like, to some people. Like, some people like just be like, he just talks shit all the time. He talk too much shit. But I gotta make sense to some of y'all. Like, are y'all satisfied with this guy? Are y'all satisfied with how he got here? You know what I mean? Are y'all satisfied with him just saying he got to the top to fight Emanuel Charlo, and he got there for it? But are y'all satisfied of that? Are y'all really saying this is y'all champion? You know what I mean? How is this y'all champion when he hasn't accomplished or fought anybody, man? You know what I mean? But that's why it's good to have the background that you had a background from, right? Like, some people get inherited money. You know what I mean? Like, some people get If I'm like, for me, the biggest player in our city, Dan Gilbert, I would love to be a son of Dan Gilbert. I don't have to. I'm already rich, right? I inherit once everything passes down. I inherit the money, and I think that's what Tim Tszyu is doing. Like he's inheriting the money, but it doesn't make you the champion because you inherited the money. You have to go through the fire. He ain't been there yet. So why are we satisfied with this guy? I'm not satisfied with him, but seeing him fight, I see a grit of a champion. I see what they believe in, right? I see the road to what they believe in. They got the right horse. The horse just ain't been in enough races, but they got the right horse though. They got the right horse of the attitude, the style. They got the right horse of the excitement in a fighter. Like Tim is exciting. You know what I mean? Like he's a very exciting fighter. For me, what I look at as an exciting fighter is a guy that gets hit. Like you have to show me you're tough. Like I'm not one of those guys that's gonna show you that I'm tough. I don't like getting hit. You know, Tim is gonna pop, and he gonna give it pop. You know, that's like rock'em sock'em robots to me, right? That's like you have to show me you're tough. Like when I hear people say that he's not tough or he's the toughest guy in the division, you know why you telling me he's the toughest guy? Because he gets hit a lot. That's why this guy is the toughest. I don't want to be one of the toughest. You know why? Because I don't like getting hit. I'm one of those guys that don't want to show you I'm tough, but I'm going to show you why I'm so much better than you. I'm going to show you why my mind thinks 10 times higher than yours do. I don't like getting hit. I don't like excitement. Listen to me, boo me. You know, when you boo me, that's me. That's you clapping for me when you boo me. Because you know why? I made the fight that much more boring. You know why? Because I kept it on I fought how I wanted to fight. I kept it at my distance, and I jabbed your ass to death. Bop, 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 bop. I did that shit to death, and it's boring like boo, boo. In my mind, this is what you're doing. That's what I hear in my mind. I don't like being the most excited. I don't like getting hit. I don't like you hitting me. I don't like the crowd screaming. But it goes to those points sometimes in fights. But that's the career Tim made out of himself, though. He made himself one of the most exciting fighters in our division, which he is, right? But
and are you basing a lot of that on the Terrell Gachet fight where he got dropped in the first round?
Just anybody. Like, just look at the stigma of everybody he fought. Like, they touched him, too. You know what I mean? They touched him, too. Like, it ain't like he wasn't, he didn't get touched. He got touched, too. You know what I mean? When I watched the fight with Dennis Hogan, and trust me, his offensive onslaught was a lot more massive and a lot better, but he got touched, too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think people look at that part like he got touched, too. You know what I mean? Like, he touching them, but he also got touched, too. And that's what I look at. When I see a guy that I'm fighting, I'm like, oh, I could touch him. I could touch him. You know what I mean? And I'm also not there defensively to just say, you could just touch me with at ease. I'm not Dennis Hogan. I'm not Takashi. I'm not Terrell. Like, I'm not just doing this. That. I was raised around legends, man. I was raised around guys that know the sport of boxing. This is not it. This is not what we do. I'm this. I'm this. I'm this. I'm that. I'm not this. This is not my security. That's everybody. Everybody he's fought. This is their security. Tighten up. That's his security. Tighten up. And that doesn't stop you from getting hit. That's their security, man. That's not knowledge. That's not knowledge, man. I was raised around them pros, man. High level shit. That's not what I do. You know what I mean? So that ain't what he's gonna see. He's not gonna get the typical guy that he normally fights. Now he's not gonna get that. So you gotta come stronger. So, but I know, but in my mind, I know he knows he gotta come stronger. So I know he's gruelingly training to the best of his ability because I am the best guy he's gonna fight. Even when he fights Jamil, I'm gonna be the best guy he's gonna fight.
You talked down the Jeff Horn fight as well. That's sacrilegious in Australia to talk down Jeff Horn and his achievements, but clearly not someone that you rate.
Man, listen to me. Like, that shows you what you have in Australia and what we have here in the U.S. I'm not knocking Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn beat one of the best fighters that I thought was the best fighter ever. You know what I mean? So I think Jeff Horn accomplished something that many of us never thought he could accomplish. You know, even through discrepancies in the decision, he did it. Who could say something about him? He did it. He made it happen. But the skill level in Australia and the skill level here in America, Terence Crawford went over there and destroyed that man. It's just the skill, the competitiveness, the skill level is different. It's just different, brother. You know what I mean? Jeff Horn is like the man over there, right? But it's a difference. It's a difference. Man, LeBron James is the man everywhere. You know, Jeff Horn is the man over there, but LeBron James is the man everywhere. I don't even know who y'all big dog is over there, to be honest. I'm not like knocking nobody over there, but LeBron James is known everywhere. You know what I mean? Like the guys here, we known everywhere. You know what I mean? So the skill level, the talent is different. I think the obstacles that we got to hurdle over makes us better in a sense of competitiveness. You know, we competing against the best. So every day in and out the gym, when I was at Crunk, Andy Lee, Kermit Cintron, like Canine Bundage, like these are the guys that I see every single day. When I lace up gloves, these are the kind of competition that I got to lace up in front of every single day. So when you tell me like, Tim is gonna be in the best shape ever, he gonna drown him, like that's everybody's game plan when they fight Tony Harrison. I want to take him in the deep waters. I know I might lose the first 8 rounds, but I want to take him in the deep waters and I'm an onslaught. Like that's everybody's game plan now. And I think Tim missed that wave when that was accomplishable. You know what I mean? It was accomplished that at some point, realistically, and like I said, you could see it, like, because the fights I lost, I was winning. But in round 9 and 10, 11, and, you know, I kind of lose a little bit of focus. You know what I mean? But in this case, for me to take that fight with Tim, I know in my mind where I fucked up at. And for me to know where I messed up at, I know exactly how to change my own perception. And I'm not writing nobody else's perception, I'm writing my own. So nobody has to tell me, this is what you have to do, and later, I know myself. Every day I wake up, I want to be better with myself. So I know exactly what needs to be done with me. You know, so me, he missed that wave. He missed that wave when that would have worked for me. That ain't the wave that works for me no more, because everybody comes to me with that same game plan. Nobody can stand on the outside and not box me. So everybody's game plan is you must get there, you must throw a lot of punches, you must. But that doesn't work for me. I found my own link. You know what I mean? So if that's all you have to offer to win a fight with Tony Harrison is, I'm gonna be tougher than him, and I'm gonna take him in the deep waters, I'm gonna drown him. You gotta know how to swim. You better know how to swim. Simple. You better know how to swim.
Clearly, you admired Tim's courage in taking this fight and his toughness within his fights and getting hit. But do you rate his skills at all? Do you think Tim Tszyu's any good?
Good to who though? You know what I mean? Like I think every matchup when you match fighters up, you get a different kind of grade. You know what I mean? Like when you fight Terrell Goucher, I think a B plus for Terrell Goucher. But I also think Terrell's style of fighting is perfectly made to fight Tim Tszyu. You know what I mean? So I think his style was, their styles, and that came down to great matchmaking. That came down to great promotion and great management of Tim Tszyu. And I parade them boys for getting him to the top. They got him there. And I parade them guys, man. And listen to me, if they need another fighter to kind of do that with, you know what I mean? But I parade those guys, but they did a good job. You know what I'm saying? They matched them up right, and they matched them up with the perfect kind of styles of fighters. So I think every time I watch Tim Tszyu fight, he gets a different grade because he fights somebody with kind of like a different style, but the similar style. So he was always B plus against Dennis Hogan, B plus against Terrell Goucher, B plus against the other guy. Like they all kind of carry the similar styles. Against Tony Harrison, you gotta dig a little deeper though. I'm in a whole different kind of bag. You gotta dig just a little bit deeper for me to grade you as a B plus. You're not a B plus fighting a Tony Harrison. You know what I mean? You a B plus fighting guys that's entertaining like you though. guys that want to be all action and tough just like you. Tony's not one of those guys. You know, I'm not one of those guys that parade myself on being the toughest. That ain't even me. That's not even a trophy that's on my mantle. Throw that shit away. You do not want to be known as the toughest. You know why? You know why the toughest guys, they talk like this. And that's no disrespect to nobody, but this is a grueling sport in itself. And I'm not making fun of nobody, but I'm just saying that's what happens when your mind state put you as wanting to be the toughest guy in boxing. This is boxing. It's not cheerleading, it's not bicycling, it's not flipping. It's boxing. The brain is not meant to get hit. We take those hits each and every day, not only in real fights, but the accumulation of practice. And I don't want to be known as the toughest. Throw that shit away. Throw it away.
You called him basic. What did you mean by that?
That means he does nothing of high level to me. No high level defense, no high level footwork, no high level head movement, no high level offense, no setting up shots. He just go. He just go. Like he like a NASCAR driver. Full speed. Like they just go. Like it's no skill involved with that. It's just drive. It's just put it in full gear and drive as fast as you can. There's no high level in that. That's what I mean by basic. But tough basic, cause y'all got the best rotors. You know what I mean? Australia has given them the best rotors. You know what I mean? They dishing out the most expensive tires. He got the most expensive engine in the goddamn under the hood. But it's basic. When you look out the outside of the car, it's basic. You know what I mean? But he got money invested in him to make the car drive and go faster than maybe a couple more other cars go. But it's still a basic car. He just got the best shit surrounding that car. He got some 44-inch spinners on that thing. So it looked cool, right? But it's still a basic car, man.
And do you think, to continue the analogy, that he inherited the car from his dad, ultimately?
Tszyu was a man. He was a beast. Tszyu was a fucking beast. And Tszyu came over here and he proved that he was a beast. He fought Zad. He proved that he was a beast, man. He fought the guys that were considered the best guys in the sport. Tim is way short of that. He's way short of that. You know what I mean? Like, I think this right now is the first time he stepped in to fight a guy that's of my caliber or our caliber. Just say, not even mine, just our caliber. Don't even look at the skill part of it, but I'm top 5. I've been top 5 in this division for like 8 years. He hasn't fought nobody top 5. He hasn't fought a Lubin, he hasn't fought a J-Rock, he hasn't fought a Her, he hasn't fought a me. So he hasn't fought anybody at top 5. So I think he's short of his dad. But to figure it out, you call out me, and that's the perfect way to figure it out. And I think he figures it out the right way, but the wrong way. You know what I mean? I think you called the wrong fighter out, but you got to figure it out, dude. Like, you can't babysit this guy. And they doing the right thing, promotion-wise and manager-wise. You doing the right thing, but it's just at the wrong time. Why would you risk the fight with Jamil, though? You know what I'm saying? So it's the right thing to try to figure out what kind of horse you got in the stable. You got to figure it out at some point, right? You can't just keep fighting Dennis Hogan's forever. So you got to figure it out, but at the wrong time, you there. Come on, management. Come on, hire me as a consultant, and I'll do it. But why? Like that, I think that's the big question mark over the fucking head. Why? It don't make sense. Why? Australia loves you. You the fucking man. Why? Why come this far to do this? All for a fight? You already been sitting out 365,000 days, and ain't nothing to add another 100 more days to that to get to the dream that you've been waiting on. You know what I mean? Why? The question mark is why. Come on, management. Come on, man. I gotta have a conversation with management after this. Why management?
If you've got yourself top 5, and that can't be argued, where's Tim? Where do you have him numbers-wise in the super welterweight?
And to be honest, I don't even
division?
think about top 5. Anything over that is just like everybody else is fighting to get top 5. I don't even think about anything over top 5.
Is he top 10 or is he further back?
Man, I have, like I said, if it ain't top 5, really if it's not 1, it's not even something you should be even thinking about. Find out how to get to 1. You know what I mean? So 5, I just say top 5 because the division is so stacked. Like I think we got one of the most stacked divisions in boxing, right? But if you're not top 5, it's like you still in the race for with all the other people that's in the pool that's not even top 10. You still in that pool with them because everybody want to get top 5.
You've fought Jamel Charlo twice, beat him once, of course, and won the world title, and then he won the rematch. Is this Tim Tszyu fight really about getting a third fight against Charlo for all the belts, taking that spot that Tim has?
The only reason you got me saying yes in 6 weeks, because other than that, I would have been like, yes, but give me 8 weeks for it. You know what I mean? So for me to say yes in 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and I know he was already training 2 months before getting ready for Jamel Charlo, so I already know he was already in camp. So for me to say yes in 6 weeks, 7 weeks, it's only for one thing. And if you look at my Instagram, I've been tweeting Jamel, I want to fight again. There's no way we dislike each other this much and the rivalry is this high and we could secure financial stability for both our families by just doing this again. We the first off, number one, the dislike is real. The hate is real. The press conferences is everything. It's an easy sell for pay-per-view. Everybody's gonna buy it. You know what I mean? So it's an easy way for us to make money, right? And I write Jamel Charlo, I was like, come on, bro. Like, come on. All I want to do is, it ain't even got to be for your belts, but let's just do it again. Because in my mind, I know, I 100 million% know I'm better than him. So everything for me is to get back something I lost to somebody I shouldn't have lost to. You don't hear me talking about her like that. You don't hear me talking about Willie Nelson like that. Even though I'm better than them guys, even though I was winning those fights, I fucked up. But when I won the belt, and I know in my mind, mentally, I blame me. And that's the most hurting part about it, because mentally I blame me. Because mentally I was so wrapped up in dominating that man and hurting that man and pushing that man back, because all the stigma that he kept talking about, you gonna run, you gonna run, you gonna run. And I fed into that. I'm like, I ain't gotta run from you. Now I beat you already. What the fuck I'm gonna run for? So in my mind, I fed into that, and camp for me was like that every day, grueling, pushing people back, throwing punches, throwing shots, and I showed you glimpses of that, right? But that wasn't Tony. Tony took a lot of punches that fight that he wasn't supposed to take, because Tony wasn't Tony. Tony was the same thing I'm telling you about. He was the tough guy. I played the tough guy role. Like, and there ain't no hoe in me. Everybody see that all day, but I don't have to play the tough guy role. I ain't gotta be no hoe, but I ain't gotta play the tough guy role. And I played the tough guy role in my mind. In that fight, I played the tough guy role. And I shouldn't have played the tough guy role. And I kick myself in the head for it every day for playing the tough guy role when I shouldn't have. You know what I mean? But in my mind, I'm like, I got the belt already. My dream of getting the world title, that green belt, was my whole dream. Not undisputed. For me, it was just get the green belt. Floyd Mayweather made that green belt seem like it was money. The best thing walking the earth. All I wanted to do was get the green belt. When I got it, I'm like, you know what? Let's go fight now. Bump the skill, let me just show him I'm better than him. But that was the tough guy role. I played the tough guy role in my head, and I lost that fight. Because that wasn't my fight. You know what I mean? So in my mind, I know why I lost that fight. And I blame myself for it. So in my mind, I want to get that back. Everything for me is just to get that one fight back. Just one fight. I want that one fight back, and it's going to be for all the belts.
And you believe if you beat Tim, you get that fight, you get Charlo?
That's an easy yes. Well, not an easy yes, but I put myself in position. That's my position I'm in now, right? Charlo can also say, I want to go fight the WBC mandatory now, or I want to go fight the IBF mandatory now. He can also wiggle out of that. But in my mind, we all know, like I would say about Tim, if something was to happen to Tim, he wiggled his way out of it. He finessed the people that think Tim is something real. He finessed them. He ain't that real champ, no. He ain't that real champ that we think he is. He finessed us.
What would have happened, do you think, if Jermell Charlo against Tim Tszyu had gone ahead as it was meant to?
Charlo would have knocked him out. I think not only is Charlo more like a better seasoned fighter, I think Charlo fighting Castano twice was the perfect preparation to fight Tim. They both the same fighter. He fighting the same fighter a third time. So the first time we got a draw. Second time, he looked extremely well. He's gonna fight Castano again in Tim Tszyu. He's gonna fight the same fighter. He's gonna fight Castano again. He already got that man down packed from fighting him the first 2 times. It was gonna be a knockout before 7. It was that fight wasn't going past like 8. You know what I mean? Because he was already prepared. His fight. The way it was lined up for him he was already prepared. And then Tim just ain't seasoned enough, man. He ain't seasoned enough, brother. And I don't think people understand that when with boxing comes seasons. You know what I mean? When it's snowing, you gotta go get a shovel. When it's fall, you gotta go get a rake. It's seasons to this, right? I think Tim is skipping every goddamn season there is. He ain't fought nobody to even put him through the fire. And I think Terrell was spring for him. Everybody loves spring though. Like, you ain't gotta do shit. You just go outside with your drawers on, your little dun-dun-dun, your little stomach hairs out, your little chest hair. You ain't gotta do nothing in the spring. But Tim was his spring, because you know why? He got wet just a little bit. He got knocked down, he got wet just a little bit. What happened to fall? What happened to the rainy season? What happened to the flood season? What happened to the wintertime? He skipped all those seasons. Now guess what? He skipped all those seasons. Now he in the winter. That's me. I'm the freezing cold, blistering cold. I'm the wind that's blowing 100 miles an hour. You ain't been there, baby. You ain't been there. You ain't been in that kind of weather yet, right? But you here. But you skipped all those seasons to be here, right? And management got you here, promotion got you here, but are you ready to be here? That's the question mark that's over everybody here. Like I said, for Tim went where I already been. I've been world champ. I've been fought ex-world champs. I've been fought the best of the best. Tim wants what I've already accomplished, and he want to fight who I've already fought. He want to be where I've already been. I don't want to be where he's been. He want to be where I've been. I don't want to be where he's been.
We're going to have a lot of fun with press conferences and weigh-ins and having you in Australia. Are you looking forward to coming to Australia?
Man, listen to me. I not only to fight Tim, but I'm just looking forward for the opportunity to meet all those fine women y'all got over there. All those fine little honey duns y'all got over there, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I want to get my access. I want to get my accent a little bit ready. Hello, Mike. How you doing today, Mighty? You're like, I'm like Crocodile Dundee from there, right? Come on, man. That's all I watch. That's all I used to watch the Animal Channel, man. So I'm like I said, for me, I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm going to enjoy good weather. I'm going to scenic route to do it, right? I'm going to scenic route. This is the scenic route for me. I don't got to fight nobody in Detroit or the USA. This is the scenic route for me. I get to see all the beautiful things that Australia got to bring, the kangaroos, the snakes, the venomous spiders, the big fat spiders that I see on the internet all the time. I want to take a picture of one of them things. So I get the scenic route to do it, and I'm telling you, man, there's no other way for me to do it than to do it like this. Like, if you a fighter and you don't dream of moments like this, like my whole reason of fighting, I dream of moments like this. Like, I got like cool fighting in the USA, but I dream of moments like this when I walk in a stadium and I go out first and all you hear is boo, fuck you, boo, throwing paper at me, boo. If you don't dream of moments like this, being a fighter, you in the wrong profession, my man. You in the wrong profession.
Is that what you're expecting, to get booed and treated that way?
Yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, I definitely expect some people to be screaming for me, because some people in Australia feel exactly how I feel about Tim. Why is this guy next up like this without doing anything. So it's people in the real boxing fans that feel exactly how I feel in Australia. But it's also guys in Australia that's rooting for the Australian. Whether win, lose, or draw, they rooting for us. That's the way life goes. Like, if I'm fighting in Detroit, Detroiters are rooting for Detroit. I could be fighting Barack Obama. They're going to be rooting for the Detroiter. That's just how it go. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just like, they're supposed to boo me. But I'm also going to hear some of this. You know why? Because people want to see that question mark from Tim. They want to see that be answered. Whether negative or positive, they want to see that answer. They want to see, is Tim really that guy we thought he was? And that's the question mark that everybody in Australia should have over their head. Not just me, because that's just real, right? That's just real. Like, we got that question mark. Who has he beat? Who has he fought? Why is he next up for Charlo? Why? You know what I mean? These are questions that realists, you know what I mean? It's not a lot of realists around the world, right? It's a lot of flabbergasted people that just go with their people, right? But being real, why is he here? Who did he fight to get here? Why is he here?
Did you just say you want to have a photo with a spider when you get out there?
I want all that. I want the experience, my brother. Don't bite me, though. Don't let it bite me and nothing like that, but I want a photo. Give me a kangaroo. You know what I mean? I want to see kangaroos. I want to see a little alligator. I want to see a crocodile. I want to see things that I'm not going to see here, because there's a lot of shit that's over there that I'm never going to see over here, ever. You know what I mean? So I want the experience of what Tim sees every day. I want to get that experience while I'm over there. I want to get that same experience of why people love Australia so much, because it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place, right? I've never been over there, but it's beautiful.
How much time are you going to spend in Australia? A couple of weeks before the fight? Any time after the fight?
Yeah. Couple of weeks. But you know what, man? I think, Tim, if you allow me to, my brother, I want you to show me around. You know, I know it's kind of, I know it's kind of a little cliche about me, but I love you, Tim. Listen to me, I love you as a competitor too, baby. But I only speak real, baby. But if you allow me to, if you open me and welcome arms, open me. This me hugging you, my brother. I would like you to show me around, man. Show me to a couple clubs. I know you got a boat or something. I know, or you don't got a boat. Your dad might have a boat. No, man, don't take me on a boat, because I may not come back off that boat, right? But just show me around a little bit, baby. If, you know what I mean? If you just that, you a gentleman, brother. Trust me. I heard you speak. You don't really got much bad to say about nobody. He's a gentleman. But after you fight somebody, is that gentleman still withheld in yourself? You know what I mean? And if you still that gentleman, like I'm probably gonna leave right after. But if you're that gentleman that I think you are, and you open me with welcome arms, I'll probably stay a couple of days and you show me around. And I walk with you, my brother. I want to walk the city with you, and I want everybody to see that fighting for me and you ain't just about beef. It's not a beef. I don't have a beef with him, right? He don't have a beef with me. Open me with welcome arms. Because if you was from Detroit, I'd be like, stay a couple of days. Let me walk you around.
So just after the fight, though, you don't want to hang around with Tim before the fight?
Fuck no, not before the fight. I don't got nothing to say to you before the fight. But after business is taken care of, I don't mind sharing a shot with you. You know what I mean? I don't mind sharing no shot with you. I don't mind walking around and meeting your friends and meeting your people and showing everybody it's all love. It was business, but it's all love, my dog. And I know it's all love in your heart, because I hear you talk sincerely about everybody. I don't really hear you downplay or talk bad about nobody. I don't have nothing bad to say about you. My only thing is this, that question mark that you got over your head.
So before the fight, though, we might organise, you can get a couple of snakes and some spiders. We'll do a photo shoot.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, for me, I'm from Detroit, and in my mind, I fear those kind of things, right? But why am I going over there if I fear that? Because if I fear a spider, I fear Tim. That Tim over there, he live over there. If I fear a snake, I fear Tim. And I fear those, listen to me, right now, I fear those things. I fear, like, we don't even have those things in Detroit. You know why? You know why I was born in Detroit? Because God know I don't like that shit. God know I fear those things. But I'm going over there. This is why I'm going over there. If I go over there and I don't want to touch a snake, I fear Tim. Tim probably touched the snake. In my mind, I want to be him. I want to be in his head. And every advantage that he think he got over me, he don't. If you touch the alligator, motherfucker, give me the same alligator. I want to hold it. If you touching the snake, give me that same snake. I want to breed it. Right? Everything that he think he got the advantage over me as far as toughness, and he got stuff that I ain't never seen. I want to see that. Whatever he see, I want to see. Whatever he want to touch, I want to touch. Listen to me, because in my mind, he may think he got that advantage over me. Like, oh, he ain't never seen a snake before. I ain't. But I'm going over there. He ain't never seen a kangaroo before. I ain't. But I'm going over there. He ain't never seen a whale before. I ain't. But motherfucker, I'm going over there. See what I'm saying?
I think I hear what you're saying. Do you want to say anything to the Australian people then? Because this is going to be a big fight. You'll be well received, but as you just said, there might be some who do boo you on the night. Do you have any words for the Australian people ahead of your arrival?
I don't mean no harm, Australia. I don't mean no harm. Y'all will love me, man. When y'all get to know me, y'all will love me. I don't mean no harm. Y'all gonna love me. Everybody in the world loves me because I'm real. But I don't mean no harm, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, just show me love. And show me love and grace at the same time. Boo me, but don't disrespect me. Because then I turn left. You know what I mean? Like, it's a difference between disrespect and respectful disrespect. Just keep it respectful for me. Because I love y'all. I love people. You know what I mean? So I don't mean no disrespect. I don't mean no harm. Just show me love because I'm going to show y'all love. But boo me, I expect y'all to boo me. You know what I mean? Tell me I suck, I expect y'all to tell me that. You know what I mean? But just keep it respectful. You know what I mean? I'm still a fighter and I'm still a man at the end of the day, but I love y'all. I love y'all. And hopefully, like I said, after the fight, all the answers are answered about y'all fighter. And y'all can show me grace. And y'all can welcome me with open arms because Australia is really a pretty place with pretty people. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, don't let me get y'all out of character, man. Don't let my Detroit ways get y'all out of character, man. I love people, man. I love y'all, and I'm looking forward to seeing y'all and meeting y'all in person.
You keep talking about the question mark around Tim Tszyu. Is there a party that thinks maybe he is that good? Maybe he is going to emerge and shock you in the ring? Is there a part of you that thinks that?
Well, you got a man that has 2 fists and 2 feet and 1 big head like me. You know what I mean? So I think anything is possible, right? But that's what a question mark is. That's like we don't know. Question mark is the shit that we don't know. We don't know what Tim's gonna do. Or I don't know what Tim's gonna do. I don't know how tonight is gonna prevail itself. But I'm here to tell you I'm nothing like those guys that he fought before. He gotta come out a little more tricky. He gotta come out, he gotta go in his bag a little deeper than he's been, you know, fighting anybody else. He got to go in his bag. I don't know how deep that bag is. I ain't talking about money or financial bag, but he got to go in that talent bag. And I haven't seen it. That's all I'm saying. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen nothing that I haven't seen from Sergio Garcia. That was my last fight. I haven't seen nothing different. Probably a little more wheel. You know what I mean? Than Sergio Garcia, just a little more wheel. Just a little, but Sergio will tell you that it's extremely hard to put in your mind what you think you're gonna do and to actually put it on wax and do it. You know what I mean? Like everybody comes in with that game plan, but how are you gonna get there? You know what I'm saying? X times Z times pi. Like you gotta put that equation together, put that together. Don't just say this is what I'm gonna do, but write it on that board, X times Z times Y squared, plus trigonometry, plus put that shit together on board, right? So it's easy to say how I'm gonna get there, but now put in the equation, how are you gonna get there, right? And that's the question mark. Once again, we keep coming back to the question mark.
When you look at the equation, does it all equal you with another shutout like against Sergio Garcia, or do you think that this might be a fight where you're allowed to push forward at some point and maybe you stop Tim Tszyu? What do you see happening?
That's my plan. That's my plan. That's my plan is I think I'm gonna have every plan to do exactly what I want to do with it, right? I think they think my plan is to go in there and dance all day. You know what I mean? But as a fighter, I understand that those points come with dominance. I have to dominate some parts of the rounds for him to be like, damn, I can't just walk him down like that. Because I'm going to stop running. I'm going to stop moving at some points, and I'm going to just say, let me just see a little bit. Let me just show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So I'm going to come to those points. And in my mind, if I see a wrinkle in the goddamn armor, I'm about to smoke it. Well, if I see just a wrinkle in the armor, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh. We're going to roll up the fattest little joint. If I just see a wrinkle in it, it's over. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think we ever seen Tim get into a fight where he had to show a wrinkle in the armor. You know what I mean? And I think that's the part that we're gonna answer some of them questions. You know what I mean? But I know for sure, 1,000% sure, from that opening bell, I'm in the fight. I'm in the fight. I can talk all that shit I want to talk, but I'm in the fight. I'm in a true, real fight. A real fight, 100%.
Have you been smoking that big joint today, or are you always like this?
Man, I'm high on life, man. I'm high on life, brother. I'm one of those guys that I need a TV show or something. You know what I'm saying?
We might be able to sort that out for you in Australia.
Man, listen to me. Listen to me, man. I would love it, man. I gotta be high on life, man. My personality is made for people. You know what I'm saying? I'm made for people. My personality is high, man. But I'm high on life, though. You know what I mean? So, but if I see a wrinkle in that armor, or if I see a spectacle of disbelief in his tone, ooh, baby. I don't know what y'all growing over there, baby, but what we grow over here, God damn it, boy, we gonna have fun.
We are going to have fun. Can't wait to get you to Australia. So what's your prediction then? Obviously, you win this fight. That's your firm belief. Do you think that you stopped him?
I think I can. I think there's no way I could. There's no way Tim shows me. Tim get hit too much for me to say I can't stop. You know what I mean? Like his defense is not that tight for me to say I can't stop. If I can hit you, I can stop it. If I can hit it, I can. If I can hit it, I can beat it. My whole thing. If I can hit it, if I can shoot something, I can kill it. It's like any hunter. If I can shoot it, I can kill it. I may not be able to kill a mongoose because it's so small and it moves very agile. But Tim is an elephant. He's a big target. If I can shoot it, I can kill it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe his skin is deep enough to say, I can't kill it. But I just watched Terrell knock it down. So I know I can kill it. If it can be knocked down, I can kill it. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm just like, I can do it any way possible. You know what I mean? It's all up to Tim's attitude and Tim's demeanor when he get punched the first time, or the 20,000th time, and whatever round that is, to show me that he ain't cracking. You know what I mean? If his armor doesn't crack, then we may go to whole 12. It's gonna be a grueling 12 for him. We may go to whole 12, but if I see a crack in the armor, if I see he ain't putting no lotion on the skin and I see cracks in the ash, let's go in and smooth that thing out, baby. Smooth that thing out. And that's what I'm gonna do.
You got a lot going on. You're a trainer, as we mentioned, of Alicia Baumgartner and others. Are you a trainer or a fighter at this point, or a comedian or a TV show host?
Man, listen to me. Like I said, for anything for me, I've been boxing since I was 5, man. I've been getting punched in my face since I was 5. If I can find ways to make money now, smartly, everything is about making money the easiest way for me to make money. If I could do your job and make money, man, I would do your job. You know, if I could go to reality TV, if I could, like, training for me is everything, man. Being a trainer is everything, man. I think for me as a fighter, I became world champ, but you know what? I think in about 5 years, they're going to forget my name as a champion. But as a trainer, once AB finish her legacy out of the way, she's going to finish hers out. Then I get another fighter. Emanuel Steward. My son doesn't even know who Emanuel Steward is. He's never even met Emanuel Steward. The older he grows, if he becomes a boxing philanthropist, he becomes a fighter, he gonna understand exactly who Emanuel Steward is, Emanuel Steward was without me even telling him, just from his love from the sport. So Emanuel Steward is gonna live forever. Angelo Dundee, I never got the opportunity to meet him, or I wasn't even alive probably, but he lives forever. Great trainers live forever. Fighters, they kind of temporary, man. So for me, I want to live forever. I want my knowledge to be lived on forever. Not as a fighter, but just as a teacher.
Do you think that the years that you spent with Emanuel Steward set you up for victories in fights like this?
Perfect. I think that's the perfect assessment of it. I think Emanuel Emanuel wasn't only like a great boxing teacher. Emanuel was like, he was, what word am I looking for? What's the people that, a storyteller, not a storyteller, but what's the person that reads your palms?
Oh, well, palm reader.
No, they call it something, right? What?
Fortune teller.
Fortune teller.
Yeah.
Right? So Emanuel was the only guy I knew that could tell you who would be what, when they would be what. He said Deontay Wilder would be world champion and one of the best heavyweights. Spoke it in Australia in the Klitschko camp. He said Tyson Fury would be one of the best heavyweights fighters. Spoke it. While we were in Australia, he was the only guy that could pinpoint who you would be when you would be. He told me I would be a world champion and one of Detroit's best. And I'm living that. And he told it to me. You know what I mean? He was around a ton of talent, but he never gave you false hope. If he seen it in you, you were it. If he told you were it, you were it. He told me Andy Lee would be world champ. So he never missed. He never missed, brother. He never, like, that man was a fortune. He could tell you exactly what you were going to do in the sport of boxing. He was a fortune teller. And if he said it, damn it, you better put your all into it now. Because he know what he's talking about. He see what you don't see in you at the moment you don't even see it. 10 years before you don't even see it. And that's where my loyalty come from. Like, I would have never, ever signed with nobody else other than Emanuel Steward had he still been here on this earth. He knew exactly the game plan.
He's a legend of the sport, and may he rest in peace. But if he was still around, what do you think Emanuel Steward would think about this fight between Tony Harrison and Tim Tszyu?
Emanuel Steward would be the first motherfucker to cuss me out, but motherfucker, why you training a motherfucker fight? You got a fight coming up. You be the first one. He's exactly what he tell me. Motherfucker, why you doing it, motherfucker? You got the biggest fight in the world coming up. Why the fuck are you gonna? He'll cuss me out for going to go train somebody else and during my fight. But I think Emanuel's so old school, but what old school trainers and managers and philanthropists, whatever you want to call yourself, if you're from an old school way of boxing, you must understand what works for the fighter that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? So he would have cussed me out, but I'd been like, Manny, I find joy and peace in that. I find joy and peace in training people and seeing her become successful last night. You know what I did immediately after I watched her be successful? I went for a run. That's motivation for me. That's the kind of motivation I need around me going into one of the biggest fights of my life. I needed that. I needed to see her hoist every single belt. Motherfucker, and I'm right next to it. I got a part in that. I watch her hold that shit up, man. I'm like, man, this motherfucker beautiful. That shit is beautiful, dude. If that's not motivation for you, I mean, I'm like everybody find their motivation in peace somewhere else. Some people want to play poker. Some people want to gamble. Some people want to go watch basketball. I want to stay connected in the sport I'm in. And to watch her hoist them belts up and to do something that every fighter, the reason why we started this journey is to do that. And I play a part in why she did that was all the motivation I needed, brother. I'm already a motivated guy in itself, but watching her hoist those fucking belts up, man, was everything.
So when you saw the fighter that you trained with all of the belts in her division, did you picture yourself with all the belts in a couple of fights' time?
I'm 2 fights away from that. One is going to Australia and substituting his spot that he's already in to go fight for all the belts. And I already got history with the guy with all the belts. I know his flaws, he knows mine. I think I'm smarter than him, though. So my step to becoming that, and that's what's going to be history, right? I did it as a trainer, and I can come back and do it as a fighter. I don't think nobody ever has done that. Nobody ever. But a guy from Detroit has always made the right history. I'm writing my own history, my brother. And I think that's my history, man. And I already got nodded to that. And my first step is going through Tim to do it. Like, everything lines up for me, not only physically, but I think spiritually, it's no way that this happens for nobody else. God knows I've been chasing that man. How do I get there? I was supposed to go through Fundora to do it, and I would've. But how do I get there? Now I got a call to fight this guy? Like, come on. Like, why is it happening for me? It's got to be something a little deeper in the universe that says circle it around Tony now. You know what I mean? So everything is lined up for me, and it only makes sense.
Well, before we finish, do you have any other words for Tim Tszyu? You've said you want to hang out with him after the fight, but is there anything else you want to say to Tim Tszyu before you meet him in person in the build-up to this fight?
Tim, listen to me, man. You got the courageousness and the heart of a fighter. No matter what happens after this fight, if you want help, my brother, you want me to come in and help you out, add a little more sauce to your game. You tired of people dancing in your videos? You tired of people doing all that? Come to Detroit, man. I'm open arms. Open arms, my brother. Get uncomfortable with the cold. But it's open arms, my brother. I'm gonna give you open arms, my dog. You are literally a throwback fighter, and I appreciate it, and everybody in the sport should be able to appreciate that. You a throwback fighter. Add a little more sauce to your game, my brother. I'm gonna be the guy to help you out with that.
So just to summarise, you've offered to be Tim's promoter, manager, his trainer.
Yeah.
You've offered to come to Australia and host a TV show.
I like you.
You want my job?
I like you. I don't like your job. No, I don't want your job, because I like you. I like you. It's certain people that you meet, like interviewers and people that you meet that just like energy is transformable. You transform a good energy to me, my brother. I would let you interview me any day of the week. I don't even like interviews either. I mean, let me point you on that, right? I don't like doing interviews with people because I think interviewers are for everybody. They like hoes. They for everybody. Like, they for everybody and what's hot, right? And I'm not disrespecting you, right? But I'm just like, this person hot, then they're gonna go over there. This person hot, then they're gonna go over there. But something about your energy, my brother, is transforming to me, and I'm like, I like this guy being. I like being. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even want your job. But I would love to do more interviews with guys like you. I would love for guys from Detroit to do more interviews with guys like you, because this is conversation, right? This ain't just talking about, we having a conversation. And you get the opportunity to pick my brain as a realist, not as a boxer, but as a realist. So all these answers that I'm giving you are answers from a realist, not me fighting Tim, but just real answers that real people should be giving Tim. And like, this is a real, and I like conversations. I like when people get to pick my brain other than me talking about kicking somebody's ass. You know what I'm saying? So this, for me, is everything, man, and I enjoyed this, man.
Well, I've enjoyed it too. There's a touch of destiny about it when I bumped into you in the streets of New York when it was minus 13 degrees last night. Right. But it's been a pleasure to meet you, and we can't wait to get you to Australia. This is going to be a really exciting fight, a big fight.
Pleasure's all mine. Let's do this again when we get there, too. And matter of fact, let's do that. You know what? Tell whatever pay-per-view, let's do like a face-to-face, like a sit-down with me, you, and him.
We're going to do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
We're going to do that. That'll be fun.
Let's do that. Have a kangaroo there, too.
I don't know if we can organise that, but we will get you amongst some snakes and spiders for sure.
That's what I want.
And kangaroos. We can try that.
Let's do that, my brother.
It's going to be fun.
Let's do that.
That is Tony Harrison. He's coming to Australia to fight against Tim Tszyu March 12. You'll see it live on Main Event pay-per-view.